Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this hot damn it. What day is it? Hump Day Wednesday. Yes, I do believe it is Wednesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, you know, I do want to apologize once again. Seems like I'm doing a lot of that lately for not being available to make the show every day. But that is going to come to a change soon. I've just been very busy with this thing called life that we all go through sometimes and struggle with, and I do appreciate everybody's continued support. Now, with all that being said, it's so much to talk about, I don't even know where to begin. Now, as we all know, there was a lot of speculation that a one Kyrie Irving would be joining the Los Angeles Lakers. But when I first heard the news, I said, well, hold on. You know, why would you sign for $6 million with the Los Angeles Lakers when you could sign for what, 35 or 36 million with the Brooklyn Nets? So to me, I never thought that was going to come to fruition, just because who would leave that much money on the table? I know a lot of people said, well, hey, Kyrie left a lot of money on the table last year due to missing games because of, you know, protocol and things like that. Well, not protocol, but just him not wanting to take the jiznab. You understand what I'm saying? So with all that being said, you know, that's a big difference between standing up for something that you firmly believe in and doing and missing out on money and just going to another team and missing out on money because, you know, I guess he felt, you know, he thought a lot more people would be interested, but they weren't. And, you know, it's just a big difference, you know, believing in something and staying on another team. Now with him, you know, opting to stay with the Brooklyn Nets, you know, they haven't had a chance to play with Ben Simmons yet. And I think Ben Simmons is the piece that they needed in order to really compete for that championship, because I dare say that the Nets, you know, that it's not like Kyrie doesn't have a chance to compete for a championship, because we know he is playing alongside the Slim Reaper, the Durantula, the Easy Money Sniper, whatever you want to call him, and Kevin Durant. And, you know, that is an opportunity for them to compete for a championship. And if you add Ben Simmons to that, you know, somebody who can give them that defensive presence that they need, then I think the Nets will be just fine, especially, you know, if Harris can remain on the squad and stay healthy, and Seth Curry, because then you have the outside shooters that you need in order to compete, because, you know, Irving can hit outside shots, and you know Durant can hit outside shots, and that's exactly what the league is all about in today's time. So, you know, I think the Brooklyn Nets will be a great team. Now, with all that being said, now there's no necessary guarantee that Kyrie will remain a Net, because there is still speculation that he could still be traded. Maybe he opted in to get that money because he wasn't going to go to the Lakers and get $6 million. So he said that he is going to opt in, get the $36 million, and then have a trade. Now, if that's going to be the case, then of course we all know Russell Westbrook is licking his chops to sign that $45 million, which who can blame him? That's guaranteed money. We all know Russell Westbrook would not get that money anywhere else. So if he opts out and tries to test free agency, he wouldn't even get probably half of that, just because of the awful year that he had last year. Now, I do want to say this for everybody out there in Lakerland. You know, I know everybody's saying Westbrook, you know, was so terrible last year. I honestly feel like there was so much pressure and expectations on the Los Angeles Lakers that it affected Russell Westbrook mentally and on the court, where he blew a lot of bunny shots. And also, I want to say this, and I'm not making any excuses for the Lakers by any means, but, you know, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook only played a handful of games together. I want to say 17, 18 games together, and that's not a lot of, you know, games in order to mesh well together. Now, we'll say it's not the best fit, because like I just was saying, in today's NBA, you need an outside presence, and that's something that Westbrook isn't. That's something that AD definitely isn't. And LeBron, you know, he is, I hate to say it, damn near mediocre from three, but I mean, he can be a threat when he gets hot. What brings LeBron's percentages down is he'll have a game where he might go 7 from 10 from three and just feel it and go off, and then the next game might come out and give you 1 for 8. You know, which really hurts his percentages, although he has, of course, over the course of his career, vastly improved as a three-point shooter. Now, you know, the Lakers have a new coach, which I think could probably make some things work. I know it's not going to just make Russell Westbrook all of a sudden play defense leading into year 15, I believe it is, and Russell's going to be turning, 34 or 35, so it's not like he's just going to all of a sudden change. That is not what I'm saying. But one thing that I am saying is, when you have a new coach and a new philosophy, that can change a whole lot of the culture. Because to me, if you watch this channel and you knew every day I analyzed every single Los Angeles Lakers game for the entirety of the season, and with me analyzing every game for the entirety of the season, I did let you know that the majority of the problem was with the coaching of Frank Vogel, because his rotations, I must say, are very terrible. Now, Frank Vogel's rotations, every game, all he had to do was just a lot of instances, rotate certain players who we knew would be successful. But when you had a player just like for instance, let me give you an example, Ken Batesmore. Ken Batesmore was with the Warriors and turned that opportunity down to come to the Los Angeles Lakers in order to compete for a championship, and Golden State is the one who ended up with the championship. And a lot of that is due to coaching and, of course, talent. I'm not saying the Lakers had the necessary, especially with the injuries for Anthony Davis, hurt the whole year. That's going to make, more than half of the year. And LeBron James with his injuries, of course, that is really going to affect the success of the Los Angeles Lakers. But at the end of the day, I just have to say that these people cannot drive, and it's really affecting me right now. So I'm trying to be cool, y'all. If it ain't that, I got 12 behind me and everything else, man. I'm just trying to be cool. So forgive me. I'm scatterbrained just a little bit. But like I was saying, Ken Batesmore, he showed spurts. But he never had an opportunity. Just like, what's my guy name who got traded to Milwaukee? He was with the Lakers the year before that. Y'all know who I'm talking about. My mind going blank right now. Damn it, his face right there. Y'all know who I'm saying. He played with Portland for years too. Put it in the comments. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But my point is, they weren't given ample opportunity to play. If you can't get in a steady rotation, that was the main problem with the Lakers. Frank Vogel was just guessing each game, and he would never give anybody any consistency for when they would play. Sometimes Dwight Howard didn't know if he was going to play or not. Even when the year before that, when Montrezl Harrell was there, and he was like, am I going to play tonight or not? You just never knew, and the Lakers could never build any chemistry, which is very important. I think in the game of basketball, you have to have chemistry. You have to have role players knowing what their role is, and how can you get comfortable in your role if you don't even know if you're going to be playing that night or not. And that's just the way it was with Frank Vogel. So hopefully Ham can come in and go ham a little bit and kind of get these players consistent. And of course, the Lakers still need to make some moves. And as of it is right now, Russell Westbrook will be there. So forgive me for trying to just make the best of the situation, because like I said, we haven't had a full experiment for a full season with all three of them playing together and healthy anyway. So best believe we saw LeBron has been in the gym doing his thing. I'm gonna make a whole nother video about that coming soon, but I just want to chime in on the Kyrie Irving situation mainly and tell people out in Lakerland, do not fear. That is not something that overly concerns me, because I didn't think that was something that was going to happen anyway. But somehow, if the Lakers can find a team like a Orlando, or a team that's looking to just get Russell Westbrook under their team and on their roster, so he can come off the books the following year, that'll free up $45 million in space. Which, speaking of which, the NBA just announced that the cap space is going to be moving up, I think, to $123 million, if I'm not mistaken. So at the end of the day, the Lakers have what they have now. They can still make some moves, even though it's tough, just because the big three of Westbrook, LeBron, and AD have so much money so much of the Lakers' money tied up. But Malik Monk did agree that he would take a pay cut and take less money. So I think that would be a great thing. But the Lakers still got a lot of figuring out to do, and there's still a whole lot of off-season left for us to discuss it and talk about it. So, I got to handle some business real quick, get my little grub on. But I just want to chime in real quick. So as always, man, your boy just want to say right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.